Our mind is a thing of beauty. Its focus cuts deeper than diamond. Its logic is more solid than iron. Alert, it is faster than a bullet. But nothing compares with the giant computer in our mind that makes our unconscious decisions in seconds. Hey folks, let's get to the heart of the book called Blink, The Power of Thinking Without Thinking. And let's see what it says. Please don't forget to like this video. Do we always know what is happening in our mind? No. Actually, a large part of it is beyond our awareness, and it is beyond our control. A thought, more like a feeling, floats up from the depths below, pushing us to act in a spur of the moment. We don't know how or why we make a snap judgment. All we know is what could take hours or weeks to decide flashes across our mind in 2 seconds. Often, the seconds are the difference between victory and loss, life and death. This underground circuit follows an alternative system that thinks without us. Thank you very much. And the most shocking fact is that it works just fine. The mind is at its best when it is on autopilot. Looks effortless and spontaneous. But unconscious thinking is not a random guess or shooting in the dark. It is very focused. It works with minimal fuss. The unconscious mind is the leanest and the meanest muscle you will ever have. We like to believe that the more we think, the better decisions we make. But let us do a fact check. Do the best decision makers rely on a meticulous and arduous process of decision making? Generals, firefighters, emergency doctors, police personnel, top brains of art, market, industry, or technology. They are people in whose hands we entrust the future and the safety of our children, or the defense of our country. A lot is on their shoulders, but time is not always on their side. How does it feel to know that they don't rely on conscious thinking at all? Their weapon of choice? Unconscious thinking. It is nimble, it's lightning fast, it's precise, and it is decisive. We can all learn how to nurture and sharpen the unconscious thinking process and make decisions with simplicity and speed. Here is what the best decision makers don't do. Needless data. Information overload thwarts the unconscious thinking process. The common mistake is to try to know everything. It is an idea that imprisons our mind with a fake sense of control. But you can never know everything. Here is what the best decision makers do. Thin slice. So instead of gathering all the numbers and reports, best decision makers narrow their focus down to facts critical to the matter at hand. This is called thin slicing. With practice, they gain an expertise in telling the critical from the clutter. Less is more. Good decision makers edit information. This sharpens the unconscious function. Here's what the best decision makers again don't do. Overanalyze. Comparison charts, analytical reports, methodologies are not for them. We analyze with the left brain. But fluid thinking needs the power of visualization. We visualize with the right brain. If we kick the thought process from the right brain to the analytical left brain, we lose the magic spark of unconscious decisions. We lose the flow. Here is what the decision makers do. Simplify. They decentralize the thinking process. Instead of controlling every step of decision making, they go with the seamless flow of thought in motion. When we stop overanalyzing, our mind can take off into extraordinary flights of insight and instinct. Another thing that the best decision makers never do: get hysterical. Rapid cognition is powerful and delicate. The mind picks up subtle, fleeting cues to form a first impression. But under mounting stress in a knife-edge situation, our cognitive abilities start shutting down. The mind stops picking up subtle signals and concentrates only on the threat at hand. Sound and memory may disappear altogether, and details blur into tunnel vision. Within an optimal range, stress does improve performance. When the heart rate is between 115 to 145 beats per minute, our body and mind goes into a state of heightened awareness. But most of us under pressure get too aroused, and past a certain point, our bodies begin shutting down so many sources of information that we become practically useless. We become mind blind. So here is what the best decision makers do: slow down. Great decision makers are those who have a lifetime of experience with pressure cooker situations. Along with expertise, they get exposure to the worst possible scenarios. It works like immunization. Controlled doses of stress over time makes them react better to real stress. Still, the best decision makers slow down the situation. They take a step back or take a deep breath or two. Our powers of thin slicing and snap judgments are astonishing. Even then, the giant computer in our unconscious mind requires a moment to kick in. Here's what the best decision makers don't do: have biases. The unconscious mind is highly cued into its surroundings so that it can respond with speed and simplicity. But it also means that it absorbs manufactured truths when we are not looking. Words we constantly hear and things we are shown influence our beliefs, behavior, choices, and abilities without our knowing. In studies, people who are unconsciously primed that they are smarter than the rest actually performed better in their tests. And those people who were unconsciously cued that they are less smart performed below their capability. So if we do not question biases and stereotypes, they will thwart our unconscious power. So what do the best decision makers do here? They filter what their mind receives. They keep their immediate environment free from prejudices and stereotypes, and create a very free and fertile atmosphere for their unconscious thinking, and it responds with unbiased, clear judgments in the split second. Finally, the unconscious mind is so indispensable and powerful because of its aim, which is fundamentally different from that of the conscious mind. The conscious mind has evolved to control its environment for survival. The unconscious, on the other hand, survives by deeply connecting with and understanding the environment. The conscious thinking draws on willpower, which is a limited resource. The unconscious thinking is independent of our will. It thrives on freedom, a limitless resource. It is pretty much self-sustaining by nature. In other words, it is a tireless, ceaseless flow of energy. Hope you loved this episode of Unlocking Books. We would love to hear from you too. So give us your like, comment, and do share. Help us make better videos just for you.